Senator Raphael Warnock, thank you for joining us this morning. Let's get right to it. You've been running in campaign mode for 3 years straight now, and now you have some breathing room. You are a duly elected, full-term, 6-year senator. What are your first priorities now that you don't have to think about everything in the context of a campaign?
Listen, I want to keep building on the progress we've already made. I've been focused on the issue of health care long before I came to the Senate. I'm glad that we were able to pass my bill, which capped the cost of insulin for folks who are on Medicare to no more than $35 per month of out-of-pocket costs. I think we ought to be able to get that done for people on private insurance as well. And I do think that there is a bipartisan path to getting that done.
I know you talk about a kind of a bipartisan agreement in the Senate, but the House is now controlled by Republicans. So what does it look like getting those big things done, given divided control of Capitol Hill?
I have demonstrated that I know how to work on both sides of the aisle and on both sides of Capitol Hill to get good things done for the people of Georgia. And I'm not about to give up on that. I think we can get things done in the area of health care. This year, the Farm Bill is up. And so I'm very focused on what we can do for farmers, what we can do to make sure that people have food security and nutritional assistance, what we can do in our forestry division. Georgia's the #1 forestry state. And I do think there's a bipartisan path to getting some things done.
President Biden plans to run for re-election at 82 years old. Is he still the ideal leader of the party, particularly given how much energy comes from non-white voters, younger generations, perhaps people politically to President Biden's left?
Well, I'm not going to get ahead of the president. I think he will announce that he is going to run. And as I've said before, I intend to support it.
You've just spent 3 years running. Have you given any thought yourself to just possible future paths for you beyond 2024?
No, I'm really focused on the people of Georgia. And I know this sounds corny, but I still do every now and then pinch myself. I can't believe that a kid who grew up in public housing on the west side of Savannah, Georgia, Caton Homes, now represents 11 million people in the United States Senate. Only in America is my story even possible. And after running for 3 years straight, I'm really focused on the work that I'm doing right now, in addition to leading my church.
Do you have any concerns that the debt limit fight can derail some of that work? And then related, do you have confidence that Congress can avoid a national default?
I certainly hope, and I believe that in the end, cooler heads will prevail. Here's the thing. We cannot afford to play chicken with the full credit of the United States government. The full faith and credit of the United States government is critical to the stability of our economy, to jobs, and the impact of doing otherwise would be devastating. And we can't afford to wait until the very last day to do something about this.
Should Georgia be an early primary state in 2024, host the convention, and are you a part of trying to make those things happen?
I can't think of a better place to have that convention.
And what about an early primary?
When you look at the country and how it's changing, I think it makes sense for states that look more like the rest of the country may get us closer to where we need to be.